So, is this a friend of yours?
What? No! I don't hang out with other people.
That's what I say every day. Hello everyone and welcome in. We are doing a, well, I guess if you could say it's a special gameplay. It's not Magical Girl Week just yet on my channel, but I did mention that I will be having a Magical Girl Week in probably the first week of April. But since I will be seeing Sailor Moon live when this upload happens, I decided why not play a Magical Girl game, and we are going to be playing This Magical Girl is a Bee. I'm not gonna say the full word, and you know why. But I heard that this game has 2 acts, so we are going to play Act 1 in celebration of seeing Sailor Moon live and celebrating the North American tour of Sailor Moon, the musical. But before we get into the game, I want to take a moment to thank all of my current subscribers who have tuned into my channel. Thank you so much for your support. And if you are new here and you like the content, whether it be the gameplay, whether it be the reviews of my collection, go ahead and hit that subscribe, hit that like button as well. It really helps me out. And yeah, let's get into the game, see what this is all about. And if it's good, Act 2 will be here when I do Magical Girl Week. So let's go ahead, transition, and see what it's all about. Okay, so I am already loving the artwork. I did see this on Dames for Games, by the way, website. So when I saw this, I was like, yes, I want to play it. Magical Girl, and the game's free. Yes, I have to play it. And the music is amazing too. So, and I love the little cursor. We have already a wand stick. I'm ready to get into it. Let's get into it. Start. Oh, okay. So is this a narrator voice? Okay, here we go. It was a dark and stormy Monday. Like any other day of autumn, the sky was overcast, but the students of middling middle school were unfazed by the gloom. Instead, the halls were unusually Oh, I got the hiccups. Okay, hold on. Okay. Instead, the halls were unusually charged with electric excitement and spectacular anticipation.
And last, but certainly not least, today marks the first day of Halloween Spirit Week. Ooh.
Ooh.
It's time to decorate your homeroom.
Oh goodness, I hate that. Oh, there it goes. I apologize for the hiccups. They're just gonna be here, I guess. Okay. The students collectively groaned.
First place gets a prize. That's right! The first place class gets their own pumpkin pie and ice cream party! So, put your best effort in, everyone! If you want. More info online or, you know, around. Yeah! Keep an eye out for those Spirit Week posters, y'all! Happy spooky season, mascots!
I love this already. It's spooky season, it's Magical Girl, and the game's free, and the artwork is already there, and there's voice lines. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Okay, let's keep going.
I heard Mrs. Ramirez's class had something really good planned for their deco. Like guaranteed been good.
Yeah, they're just trying to intimidate us by spreading rumors. Besides, remember last year? Everyone said that one homeroom class had it in the bag, but then there was that fire.
Oh yeah, the 8-foot skeleton incident?
Exactly. Did they ever find out who let that skunk loose?
I don't think so.
Well, the point is, who knows what'll happen this year?
I guess we do have a lot of talented people in our class, like...
Oh, hey, Tabbie!
Tabbie!
Good morning, Tabbie!
Tabbie was not having a good morning. In fact, Tabbie never had a good morning when she was at school. There were too many people looking her way, watching her every move, waiting for her trip. Oh, to trip up so they could laugh at
They're
her.
always sneering at me. Like they think their little cliques are too good for me.
Hey, Tabbie.
Oh, Jonathan.
Like I'm less than them. Less than human.
Man, Tabbie is so cool.
Yeah, the real aloof type, like a spy or a secret agent, or somebody who's undercover.
Pretty sure those are all the same thing.
I always want to ask her to hang out, but I'm like super intimidated. Think she would say yes?
Just because we're
Oh, because we're in the same classroom. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, we're just gonna say sorry.
way too cool for us.
I accidentally hit the right click. Tabbie grew out of wanting friends fast. Endless bullying will do that to someone. She couldn't even imagine being that naive anymore. Tabbie was fully aware that this was her destiny, to be alone, unwanted, forcibly isolated.
Excuse me. Need to get to my locker. Hello? You good?
Molten rage and mild embarrassment bubbled through Tabbie as she stared into the face of her ultimate nemesis, Eden. Eden something or other. Last names didn't matter. It was how he treated her that made her seethe with frustration.
I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. Always ready to tear me down at the first sign of weakness. I can see it in his eyes now. He's going to.
Listen, are you gonna move or do I have to move you? I don't want to be late to class. Come on, let me through.
Was that a threat?
What?
Girl, you were in his way. Tabbie slapped a hand to her mouth, worried she had thrown herself in unnecessary danger. Who knew how bullies like Eden might react to being questioned? She looked around in vain at the crowd milling around them, not seeing a single friendly face.
I can't trust any of these bystanders to stand up for me. If only there was a teacher around.
Is that the bell? I'm just gonna go for it. Excuse me.
Tabbie watched in horror as Eden reached for her. Oh, I get to pick. Okay. Defend myself or hesitate? She seemed like she would defend herself, because she's like, that's my nemesis, so let's do it. Before she even knew what was happening, Tabbie's hand moved on defensive instinct, making contact with Eden's face. Oh, yes, achievement B-slap. The resulting smack was pitiful to hear, and Eden seemed more confused than hurt.
Ow!
Poor Eden. I feel like she's like in this own little world that she thinks everybody's out to get her, and they really like her.
I was just trying to defend myself. You were going to hurt me.
Who's screaming? What's going on here?
The teacher sounds very young.
Come on, kids. Class is almost starting. Why are the two of you still loitering around?
Tabbie spun towards her homeroom teacher's voice in recognition, searching for his authoritative presence.
Mr. Teacher, did you see him?
Sorry, Teach. Tabbie just wouldn't move.
The hallway rapidly emptied out around them as any stranglers and witnesses fled to their respective classrooms.
I just need to get my books. Promise.
Is there a reason you can't move away from Eden's locker, Tabbie?
Tabbie gawked incredulously at her homeroom teacher and then stepped off to the side, shaking her head no.
How could Mr. Teacher take the side of a known bully?
Mr. Teacher, I love that. Honestly, she should have known. No one would be on her side, not even the ones in charge.
Since I'm on my way to class too, and I have the worst headache from moving pumpkins all morning across campus, I'll give you all a pass. You better be in your seats by the time I get there. But no running. That includes you too, Caleb. I know you're just waiting for your friends, but Don't let them make you late.
Wait, am I Caleb? Who, or is that somebody new? Hello? Okay, no, I guess Caleb was just watching. For just a second, Tabbie considered speaking up and pleading her case, but the moment passed as quickly as it came. Mr. Teacher didn't bother to linger, all but jogging off to greet a different group of students. Tabbie stared sullenly at his back before walking briskly into the direction of her classroom.
All right, settle down, kids.
Mr. Teacher attempted to rein his homeroom class in for the 5th time that morning, but just like every other year, the students were too excited about Halloween Spirit Week to pay attention. He decided to launch into his 3-part lesson of history. On the history of Halloween anyway.
Halloween originated from the pagan festival Samhain, which marked the end of the harvest and the dwindling barrier between humans and the other world.
A portion of the students fell for his well-rehearsed hook and began to quiet down.
It's easy to forget about all of that in the modern-day Halloween traditions, but if you take a closer look, you'll see that many have deeper historical roots. It's really quite fascinating stuff.
Even so, a handful of students continued to discuss their Halloween plans in hushed excitement.
I can't wait for you guys to see how awesome I made my costume for the Halloween party. The lady with the super freaky haunted house on my block helped me design it.
I still can't decide whether to be a zombie werewolf or a vampire ghost.
Ooh, I would pick the vampire ghost.
Unless... Do you think I could be a zombie werewolf vampire ghost?
I mean, sure.
Oh, are we talking costumes? $20, my monster costume is the scariest.
How fitting for the bully to love terrifying people.
Your face already scares me.
The other kids nearby laughed in surprise too, which caught Mr. Teacher's attention.
Is something funny? Tabbie, do you have something to share with the class?
Tabbie felt her stomach drop as the whole class turned to stare at her. Of course, he let his favorite students get away with talking during class, but not her. Tabbie tried to swallow the lump forming in her throat, but she just became more nervous by the second.
I think we're all just excited to dress up for Halloween. I know I can't wait to decorate homeroom.
That's great, but I still have 30 more exciting slides about Halloween throughout the decades.
Yeah, that's how I am. The class collectively groaned. Tabbie breathed a quiet sigh of relief.
It's really quite interesting. There's fascinating tie-ins with the Day of the Dead and
Okay, that's interesting.
the glorious gourds of harvest. I could wax poetic about it.
You already gave this presentation before.
Oh, I mean, if you gave it already before, then okay, I can see why they're like groaning.
I did more research and now I have extra footnotes.
The class collectively groaned again.
Oh, fine. I don't know how I was supposed to have a normal class this week anyway. Why don't we put a twist on it by giving historical context to our proposed decorations?
What, reenact the Salem witch trials?
That's a cool idea. We could pretend to burn you.
Oh.
What? He totally just threatened me in front of the class. Surely Mr. Teacher won't let that slide.
He's flirting with you, girl.
Yeah, Tabbie would be such a good witch.
I don't know if the school board would approve of that.
He's just going to brush it off?
All right, kids. I'll start dividing the class decoration types into groups and share a mini lesson about each of them. So, listen up. For instance, why do you think pumpkins became associated with Halloween?
Ooh, that's a good one. Why did they? Maybe, I don't know.
There's something else that's happening around the same time.
The Harvest Festival? The harvest moon? I don't know, I'm guessing.
If you want to take care of the jack-o'-lanterns, try and answer.
Oh, do I have to answer? Okay, good. Eager hands shot up in the air. Mr. Teacher picked out one of them.
Because it's harvest
Oh.
season?
Am I right?
Ding, 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 ding!
Woohoo!
You got it! Harvest
Wait.
season is decorative gourd season, folks.
I did say harvest season, right? I think so. I think I did. I'm already having a short-term memory loss.
Carving pumpkins was a tradition before Halloween, but the term jack-o'-lantern started with Stingy Jack, an Irish legend that will give you the heebie-jeebies.
Really? Tabbie tuned the rest of the lecture out, only listening for what theme decoration was being offered next. Mr. Teacher droned on and on until finally...
Why do you think Halloween was associated with death? Whoever gets this one gets to be in charge of making all of our skulls and skeletons.
Tabbie was never a class participation kind of girl, but now her hand flew up in the air. Mr. Teacher looked at Tabbie, eyebrows raised in acknowledgement. By some Halloween miracle, she could see her name forming on his lips.
Probably because winter is coming, right?
Oh, her nemesis! Of course, he would chime in.
Back then, lots of people died in the winter.
That's correct, Eden. Winters 2,000 years ago meant
Tabbie seethed at the injustice of it all.
How could they do this to me?
I get it. I would be upset too. I'd be like, I knew the answer and then you just blurted it out. Tabbie was the one with a special connection with skeletons, but every single year. Well, only last year, but last year, Eden swept in and snatched what she wanted, what she deserved.
Hey, I had my hand up. He interrupted.
I agree with you, girl. Mr. Teacher looked at Tabbie, taken aback, as if he forgot she even existed.
oh. Well, you can answer the next question.
What if I don't know the next question? Or what if she doesn't know the next question? Tabbie gritted her teeth. She really didn't want to let this go, but everyone was staring at her. Stupid cheeks were getting redder and redder.
That's just stupid. It's not fair.
Even as Tabbie clapped a hand to her mouth at her outburst, Mr. Teacher raised an eyebrow in judgment. Oops. The angry part of Tabbie wished she could smack the disapproving expression off his face. Another bee slap. But her frustration withered away as she crumpled into herself, heart sinking.
I'll always be the first to get picked on, and the last pick for everything else.
Aww.
How about you let me continue the lesson and the two of you can work together? This is Spirit Week, and I really don't want to give any detentions for disrupting class.
Sounds cool. I'm sure Tabbie will come up with something really freaky. You know, given how into this stuff she is.
Excuse me? What is that supposed to mean?
Totally. She's the type to freak people out. It's awesome.
Okay, well, I guess it's a compliment to them. But she's not going to take it that way.
Tabbie works alone.
Like Batman. Ooh, or the Joker.
Eden grinned at Tabbie. Tabbie felt a horrid shiver run down her spine. She even braced herself for what was coming.
She looks like him too, if you turned his smile upside down.
The other students tittered at that in a typical middle school fashion.
Hey, for real, Tabbie would be the best villain.
They're laughing at me now. They're all laughing at me because of him.
Oh, we're gonna have a Carrie moment.
Settle down, class. And that's not nice, Eden.
Finally, you say something.
Only joking. Tabbie got me good earlier too. That's just how we do, right, Tabs?
Oh, you called her Tab. She's not gonna like that. Eden held out a fist towards Tabbie. Tabbie fixed him with her best death glare.
Classic Tabbie.
Well, Tabbie, if you want, you can work with Eden and...
I am not working with Eden.
Uh, there's still a couple of other decorations up for grabs.
She scowled at Mr. Teacher.
Still picking Eden over me? Why? Why do they all love him so much? What do they see in a bully like him?
The class moved on, but Tabbie just sat reliving the feeling of everyone laughing at her. Soon, all the decorations were assigned and the class split off into their working groups. Slowly, the room began to look more and more spectacular. As a reward for their hard work, Mr. Teacher handed out spooky stickers, spouting Halloween facts all the while. But of course, he skipped over Tabbie entirely.
Hey, how come Tabbie isn't helping?
Psst. Tabbie, do you want to join my group?
It's not too late to team up if you want to do skeletons.
Is the teacher the bad guy? Ooh. I guess she doesn't really like Eden because he is the nemesis, so let's reject his invitation. I work alone achievement. Okay. They were clearly taunting her. No point in staying around a bunch of bullies. Tabbie started packing up her bag, watching the clock anxiously so she could be the first one out of class when the bell rang. That's how I was. I would look at the clock and I would see that small hand keep going. I'm like, it's almost gonna ring, it's almost gonna ring, it's almost gonna ring. And when it rang, I was out of there.
I really think you should have been the one to do skeletons.
Thank you, Caleb. You are on her
We
side.
can talk to Mr. Teacher together if you like.
Tabbie's mind struggled to make sense of what was happening.
Wait, is he talking to me? What was his name again?
She had never even spoken to this popular kid before, much less seen him approach her general vicinity.
He's not making fun of me, is he?
Listen, you're not the only one Eden's burned before. Maybe together, we can finally knock him down a peg.
This isn't a trick, is it?
I am Caleb, and this is no trick. I'll stand by your side.
Oh, hello? Caleb patted Tabbie on the shoulder and she recoiled, almost hissing at him. Personal space, please. But then, oddly enough, Tabbie felt a tingle on her shoulder where he had touched her, like butterflies were dancing on her skin. Gross. She wasn't developing a crush, was she? Caleb gave her a small smile.
So what do you say? Shall we tackle this together?
Ooh, you got a love interest. Wasn't that what she had always wanted? To have someone see her, really see her as a person worth talking to. Now here was someone who was ready to back her up. At last.
Okay, we can stay behind after class then.
Perfect. I'll get Eden to stick around and we can tell Mr. Teacher what happened.
What? No! Just the two of us. I don't want him around.
No. Tabbie, trust me, he needs to be there.
No! He'll just ruin everything by charming Mr. Teacher, like always. I'm not going if Eden is.
Tabbie crossed her arms.
All right, as you wish.
Caleb inclined his head at Tabbie in thoughtful agreement. As the rest of the students continued to work on bringing that Halloween spirit to life, Tabbie bounced in her seat, almost vibrating in place with sudden energy. She barely heard Mr. Teacher's announce to the class that it was time to clean up. Not long after, the bell rang. The other students shuffled out the door until there was only Caleb and Tabbie left. Tabbie turned her critical gaze towards Mr. Teacher and prepped herself to approach. Mr. Teacher hummed to himself, trying to ignore the grouchy elephant in the room. He reminded himself that he became a teacher because he wanted to inspire the next generation. He genuinely cared about his lessons and wanted everyone to enjoy his classes. But for reasons out of his control, kids could be real poop heads. There were kids who tuned his lessons out, Kids who rolled their eyes at everything he said. Even kids who managed to scowl at him for a full hour. Kids like Tabitha Bones. Her expression had been so disarming, so spooky, that he had been too nervous to even go near her. Is that why he's been ignoring her and skipping overing her? Skipping over her. Now she was standing in front of his desk with her arms crossed, an equally wicked scowl on her face. What reason did she have to glower at him? Glower at him? If anything, if the horror stories from the other teachers were to be believed, rumor had it last Halloween, a girl with a permanently glooming demeanor had attempted to bring Butcher Bones in as decorations. While the girl in question didn't have any bones on hand now, Mr. Teacher willed himself to be brave. He cleared his throat once, twice.
Tabbie, can I help you?
Tabbie took a deep breath, sensing the reservations Mr. Teacher had towards her. She was glad Caleb was with her.
I don't think you should let Eden decorate skeletons instead of me.
Well, there's a rumor and he thinks it's you. You probably don't know that though. Mr. Teacher stared at her in stunned silence. Tabbie sped onwards, afraid to lose her courage.
He's clearly a bully, and if you side with him, you're a bad teacher.
A bad teacher? Me? Mr. Teacher furrowed his brow, lip trembling ever so slightly. Ouch! He was hurt by Tabbie's words more than either of them probably expected. She could probably sniff out his people-pleasing tendencies, but he could just as easily put those away, especially to call out students who had stepped out of line.
Look, I'm not sure why you wouldn't let Eden get to his locker, or why you said he was scary looking. Yes, I heard what you said.
Tabbie glared at him, readying herself for an accusation. Mr. Teacher braced himself against his desk, trying to remain calm at the obvious hatred being beamed towards him.
I don't know what's going on between the two of you, but I'm going to call Eden here and we can resolve this once and for all.
Oh goodness, that's not what she wanted.
No, I don't want to be near him. I want you to listen. Caleb agrees with me too.
Tabbie gestured at the spot next to her, only to be met with empty space. Mr. Teacher's frown deepened and he flexed his fingers in agitation. What kind of bluff was she trying to pull? There were no other students left in the room.
I'm sure we can resolve this right now.
Uh-oh, is Caleb the bad guy? Mr. Teacher got up from his desk, glad to be out of range from Tabbie's burning gaze. He poked his head out of the classroom, hoping Eden hadn't wandered off already. Luckily, the boy was still close by, chatting with a familiar, green-haired student. Uh-oh. Mr. Teacher felt vindicated at seeing Caleb out in the hallway. Clearly, Tabbie had been mistaken.
Eden, could you step inside for a moment?
Eden raised his eyebrows, but didn't hesitate to re-enter the classroom.
What's this about?
No!
Use your words, Tabbie.
Tabbie exhaled loudly. From the outside, she appeared to be flaring her nostrils in deep frustration. Uh-oh.
You took the decorations I wanted. Again!
Eden shrugged.
No biggie. Let's do it together after class.
No biggie. Yes, biggie. You always get what you want.
Huh? Like when?
You get away with everything! Like that time you put gum in my hair and I had to cut off my pigtails!
Oh, I want to see that picture.
When did I do that? I haven't even chewed gum since the 3rd grade.
It was in 3rd grade. She kept it. She held on to that.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh. That was you? I totally forgot.
That's it? Do you have any idea how long it took to grow it back?
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's not funny! And Caleb agrees.
Calum? What's Calum got to do with this?
Mr. Teacher pinched the bridge of his nose, feeling an uncomfortable tingling in his brow, like a headache was settling in. Or worse, a migraine. Headache-inducing. Children were always so noisy. He hoped they would settle down soon, not that they ever did. Never fast enough, never listening to his pleas to be quiet.
Be quiet.
But
Be quiet.
Oh, he's gonna snap. Tabbie and Eden both fell silent, unused to this harsher tone from their homeroom teacher.
There. Was that so hard?
Oh, he's shaking. He's the villain. I knew it. We'll see. No, it didn't need to be. All those years of being a doormat for kids much too young to know better than him. Waves of resentment washed over him, built up from countless instances of holding his tongue, of being the adult. That's right. He was in charge, not them. He needed to reclaim his space and authority.
Both of you, get out.
But
Teach? You look a bit weird. You know, pukey.
using Mr. Teacher as a distraction, I see.
That was low, even for Eden.
Please, get out.
Mr. Teacher's voice was strained and whispery. Eden probably hurt his feelings.
Alright. See you later, Teach.
What a jerk.
Mr. Teacher clutched his head, gritting his teeth.
Oh, should I get a nurse?
He didn't trust himself to speak. Instead, he shut his eyes tight, hoping Tabbie would be magically gone when he opened them again. Ooh, get Mr. Teacher's attention, hover awkwardly in silence. Let's hover awkwardly in silence. He could hear Tabbie shuffling from foot to foot in front of his desk. It also sounded like she was opening her mouth and closing it again every few seconds, which irritated him even more. Mr. Teacher's eyes snapped open. The sight of Tabbie still standing around and glaring at him made his blood pressure spike. Why was that brat still here? Hadn't he told her to leave? She never listened, always thinking she was in the right, always thinking she knew best, a little brat like her. The tingling got worse, making it harder for Mr. Teacher to think clearly. Only one line of thought made it through the mental fog.
Mr. Teacher?
Tabbie shrunk back fearfully as Mr. Teacher smiled, a too wide smile with too many teeth.
You brats just love testing my patience, don't you? Bad students get detention, but that would be a bigger punishment for me than you. After all, children who don't listen are no better than vermin. And as we know from history, vermin deserve a far worse punishment.
Oh no,
Can
he
you
is the
guess
villain.
What that is?
Tabbie backed away, bumping immediately into a desk. The blood seemed to drain from her face.
Oh, come on, Tabbie. There's a fun little sticker in it for you. Tabbie, you should have paid more attention in class instead of scowling all the time. The answer is extermination.
Oh, I knew it! I knew it! I knew it from the very beginning, you guys. I called it. Tabbie jumped out of the way as Mr. Teacher's brand new claws just barely missed her.
Claws?
The desk that Tabbie had just been standing in front of crumpled beneath Mr. Teacher's weight.
Oh.
No. What landed and stared at Tabbie from the wreckage with cool reptilian eyes was not Mr. Teacher. Instead... What is that? Is that an alligator slash crocodile. Wait, alligator crocodile. I meant to say dinosaur. Okay, anyways. Wait, now it looks like a dragon mixed with a lion, kind of clowny vibe. I don't know. It looks cool. It's very unique. And it has the little glasses here too. That's cool. He, or it, lunged at her once more. She dove under the nearest desk, but she didn't dare to stay there for long. Tabbie crawled towards the next set of tables as fast as her poor athletic record allowed. The desk she had just been under flew across the room and shattered against the wall. With desperation and fear coursing through her, Tabbie scrambled to her feet.
Please, 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 please.
Gunning it for the classroom door, Tabbie pounced on the doorknob.
Of course, it's locked. Of course. Why would it work? Everything else seems to be going wrong. Why not this too?
Oh! From behind, she could hear Warbled snarling before a dark shape sailed over her head. Smash! The pulverized debris of what had once been a desk rained down on her. Tabbie shrieked and covered her head. She tried the doorknob again, despite knowing it was no use.
Help! Someone! Help!
Tabbie whipped around, pressing herself into the door like she might be able to phase through it. The monster approached her with a bloodthirsty aura and clever eyes. He had her cornered, and he knew it. At the sight of his misshapen, uncanny, too sharp grin, Tabbie's legs gave out like her body knew the fight would be over soon. She couldn't blame them. Everyone always abandoned her in the end. Why try anymore?
It's useless. I'm useless.
Oh, Tabbie. There was nothing more she could do. It's like Mr. Teacher was ever going to listen. Oh, it's not like Mr. Teacher was ever going to listen. He never had before, so why would this time be any different? She just wished for once in her miserable life, someone would have really, truly stayed by her side.
Hiya, Tabbie. I'm... What the crap?
It's coming after you. Oh, snap. Yo! Mr. Monster chased after the new nuisance, his jaws snapping widely. Whatever the tiny creature was, it zipped around the room in a panic.
I'm Strength, and I'm here to guide you on your... What the bleep is this? Tabitha Bones!
I like how he bleeped himself out. Tabbie... Sorry. Gapped at the little guy? Okay. Tabbie... Oh, I'm in my narrator voice, sorry. Tabbie gapped at the little guy in the alarm. I messed up that sentence so bad. Okay. She had no energy left. The fight was as good as over. What did it want from her?
Don't just stand there! Help!
Kind of sounds like Toad. Like a different version of Toad from Mario. Tabbie took one long look at Mr. Monster's terrifying teeth and the tiny red being running around the desk, and hightailed it to the corner of the room, as far from them as possible.
It's a goddamn monster! I'm just a little girl! What are you anyway?
I'm a pixie!
Oh, a pixie.
I can't handle this on my own!
Are you gonna give her her magical strength? Oh! Mr. Monster swiped at Strength, who darted into a high corner of the ceiling, temporarily out of his reach. The pixie huffed, eyeing Mr. Monster nervously, he threw an equally nervous glance at Tabbie. Suddenly and unexpectedly, Strength brightened up, snapping his fingers. Oh, finger.
Yeah, I've got it. I'll just give you some candy.
Candy? Oh, look, it's the wand. This kind of looks like the one that on my collector's corner that Imani had showed me, and I ended up buying it. Strength whipped out a sparkly wand the size of his body from who knows where.
Candy? How the hell is a piece of candy gonna help us right now? Also, I don't take candy from strangers.
Good one.
Eat it or we'll die! It's magic!
Mr. Monster pounced at Strength, swiping his claws at the shiny object.
No toys in class.
The wand flew out of Strength's hand and spun towards Tabbie.
Use the wand!
Tabbie grabbed it and let out a few practice swings, preparing to bash whatever came her way with it.
Not like that!
Despite zipping through the air to avoid Mr. Monster's jaws, Strength's voice reached Tabbie with surprisingly clear instructions.
The candy, Tabbie! You have to eat the candy!
While Mr. Monster was still fixated on Strength, Tabbie weighed her options. Just eat it. Eat the candy, girl. Yeah, candy from a stranger achievement. Her face, I love it. Tabbie gripped the wand with fear and fury. She hated being told what to do, but if it was a choice between suspicious candy and the jaws of a monster, she'd take that jawbreaker any day. But it had better not be strawberry flavored. Ooh, we get a cutscene. I love it. It's cute. What we doing, Tabbie? Tabbie tried to reorient herself in space, frantically looking for the whereabouts of the monster in the room. Mr. Monster stared back at Tabbie, a bewildered expression on his face. He didn't seem to be coming after her just yet, but Tabbie quickly scanned the room for any signs of strength. Wait, are they together? Did they combine? Had he been eaten already? She had been ready to rip into him, demand an explanation for, well, everything. She glanced down at herself, trying to pinpoint the source of the soft jingling noise she kept hearing.
What is this?
A giant pom-pom obstructed part of her view, beyond which all she could see was a gaudy mix of red and black.
What the hell is this? Is this a joke? I knew it. This is a goddamn prank, isn't it?
Well, that's new.
Oh, they are combined.
It's okay, everything will be okay. We can work with this.
Strength continued rambling, but was nowhere to be seen. Was his voice coming from inside Tabbie's brain?
Great. I definitely imagined him.
Well, it, seems like we're stuck together. Yup, I can't move at all, and that's totally okay. I'll just take you through everything. They didn't warn me about this, but it's fine, it's fine.
God, this is it. I finally cracked. Even my imaginary friends are freaking out.
Tabbie started to shake, half crying, half laughing at the ridiculous situation. I mean, I guess this could make you go crazy. The bells on her horrific outfit jingled with her tremors. Mr. Monster tilted his head at the sound, eyes glinting. Ding, ting, slink, tingling.
Watch out!
Mr. Monster was before her in one pounce, his claws racked through the air straight towards Tabbie's head. By pure instinct, Tabbie dodged the attack, doing a backflip across the room.
Huh? Did I just do that? How?
That's the power of strength.
But I don't have strength. I can barely do a push-up.
Same.
You do now, Tabs. With me at the helm, we're unstoppable. Now get us out of here.
Tabbie did feel a little stronger than usual, but a backflip? Maybe that candy was magic.
What else can I do?
Throw desk at the monster or wrangle the monster. Let's be optimistic and let's try to wrangle the monster, because we got super strength. Taking advantage of his hindered speed, Tabbie snatched the strings of skull and caution tape of the walls, off the walls. Now she was the one stampeding towards Mr. Monster. Tabbie grinned, knowing he wouldn't be able to lay a single claw on her. She made several tight turns around the beast, wrapping the decorations around his legs with speed and agility. Mr. Monster thrashed around violently, but the makeshift binding seemed to hold for now.
Wait. Oh, there's something familiar about that monster. Those sparkles, maybe? Isn't that magic?
The decorations around Mr. Monster legs began to tear.
Ah! Tabbie, that's not gonna hold! Quick, use the wand!
On cue, Tabbie swung the wand at Mr. Monster and beat him with it.
Not like that! Wave it around!
Tabbie aggressively waved the wand at Mr. Monster, managing to smack him in the face again. Mr. Monster slumped back, eyes rolling around in pain.
I said around! Like, around!
Tabbie moved her arm in a wider circle, swinging the wand above her head like it was a lasso. A soft glow enveloped both of them. Oh, she's back. As if by magic, Tabbie felt the ridiculous outfit she was wearing pop off. Suddenly, she was back in her regular clothes.
Well, glad that worked.
Mr. Monster whimpers faded into the groan of a rapidly approaching middle-aged teacher. The soft light dissipated. Mr. Teacher blinked once, twice. He struggled instinctively against the decorations, binding his legs, and then looked around the room, horrified. On cue, someone pounded at the door. Miraculously, the locked door swung open and students poured into the room. With this mess... Oh, my hiccups are back. Sorry, y'all. It was clear from the sound levels that a small crowd had formed outside. Gossipy chatter turned immediately into horrified gasps. They were audible from the hall, and maybe even the other classrooms.
I thought I felt an earthquake or something. We couldn't get in.
What even happened here? Where's Mr. Teacher? Tabbie, what's going on?
Mr. Teacher? Are you alright?
The other students quickly took in the sight of Tabbie looming over their bound and bruised teacher. Shredded construction paper and wood dust fluttered the air. Tabbie's pride at having defeated a monster quickly shifted into nervous apprehension.
That Tabbie is something else. Did she seriously ruin our decorations?
How is that what you're worried about? Mr. Teacher looks like he's on the verge of tears.
Is that really his name?
That's what we're all thinking. That's what we were thinking.
I'm okay. I'm alright. Okay. Oh, I think I might have broken a rib. Give me one moment.
The other students removed the decorations binding Mr. Teacher's legs, wincing when the paper crafts tore in the process.
Did she beat him up? I didn't know Tabbie could be so... I can't even think of a good word.
So horrible.
No, so magical. I had to. This last accusation finally shook Tabbie out of her stupor.
It's not my fault. It was Mr. Teacher. He wasn't himself. He started throwing stuff at the decorations.
That's impossible. Mr. Teacher wouldn't do that. He loves Halloween.
You weren't there. He turned into a monster.
I can't believe you do all this and lie about it. We thought you were cool.
Now, hold on, guys. Let's hear Mr. Teacher's side of things. Is Tabbie telling the truth?
I'll be in the nurse's office.
Maybe he doesn't remember. Mr. Teacher got up with multiple groans and winces, gratefully accepting the support of nearby students.
Why won't he tell them?
Doesn't seem like he's in any shape to say much of anything right now, Tabbie.
Is it another, like, maybe pixie that took over him?
I can't believe this. I can't believe you guys think it was all my fault.
Or maybe he really is a bad guy.
Whose fault is it then? No one else was in here.
Just calm down, Tabs. If you explain yourself well enough, I'm sure they'll listen. Take a deep breath. In, out, and elaborate.
I already did elaborate. There's nothing left to say. I was in the room with Mr. Teacher, and he turned into that horrible beast. He was crushing desks and everything.
Real nice story, Tabbie. But what does that have to do with wrecking our decorations?
My poor paper pumpkins.
We're gonna get disqualified now.
That's all you
But
could think
I
about?
didn't wreck them, and I wouldn't have even been put in this situation if it wasn't for...
You guys don't see the claw marks over here on the classroom.
Enough!
I feel like Caleb has something to do about it. You're on my radar, sir.
This back and forth is getting us nowhere.
Caleb stepped forward and stood between her and the crowd of students. Despite his outbursts, he didn't seem angry and smiled kindly at them instead.
I'm sure nobody meant any harm. Things happen, right? Why don't we all just drop the unpleasantness?
For a split second, he directed his smile at Tabbie.
We can work out the details later. I'll talk to Tabbie and...
And what?
We'll go check on Mr. Teacher.
Fantastic idea. Just what I was going to say.
He left me with the teacher on purpose.
I'll go too.
Thank you, Stu. You're a real trooper. As for everyone else, shoo. I promise. We've got this handled.
At Caleb's authoritative direction, the group that had formed dissipated. After a few seconds, Tabbie was alone with the green-haired boy.
So, is this a friend of yours?
What? No! I don't hang out with other people.
That's what I say every day. I'm just kidding, but no, I'm really serious.
How did I know?
Ignoring Strength's comment, Tabbie focused her attention on Caleb, unsure what he wanted with her. Or if she could still trust him after he disappeared on her. Wait, I knew it. That last thought faded away as Tabbie noticed Caleb had a gremlin of his own on his shoulder. They're cute. I like the artwork. Unlike Strength, Caleb's pixie companion had a quieter energy. He stared at Tabbie with critical and sleepy eyes.
Looks like there was a lot of destruction.
Indeed. And yet our prize seems to have gotten away. For now.
Who are you again?
I am Calum. We spoke earlier this morrow.
Oh, okay, this morrow.
Why does he talk like that? Did he always talk like that? No, not you. That. The little guy.
The name's Magician.
Oh, I like the name and I like the look.
And you are Tabitha.
Hold on. Why does everyone know my name? My full name!
These hiccups need to go away. Okay, I'm gonna try to not hiccup as much. Okay. Calum spoke again, pushing his glasses higher up on the bridge of his nose.
You have my apologies. It would seem as though my plans have slightly... what's the word? Misfired.
Misfired? Misfired? That's more than a misfire, you weirdo! You sicked that crazy monster on me?
The answer to that is ambiguous. Yes and no. Both can be, and indeed are, true.
Can you cut the crap? Explain
Yes,
yourself!
please.
And use words under 4 syllables, damn it!
My intentions all along have been to get that horrible bully in detention.
Oh, that was your intention.
He's a menace. An annoying, terrible menace. Like a cicada in an otherwise perfectly brewed cup of coffee.
Calum's tirade came to a sudden halt as Magician wordlessly tugged on his collar. In response, the boy tilted his head to listen as the pixie whispered something into his ear.
What's that? The metaphor makes no sense?
Magician nodded.
Like a cicada in a screened door. All he does is make a racket without any care of who he's scaring.
He stopped for a moment, seeking the pixie's approval. When Magician nodded again, Calum took it as permission to continue.
As you can see, I'm also a friend of Pixie's. My most powerful ally is Magician, the pixie of manipulate.
Oh. Magician gave Calum's collar a sharp tug.
Magical influence. I can stack any situation in my favor, with the extra power to trigger transformations, often of an unpleasant kind.
Oh, so that's his pixie's power.
The assignment was clear from the start. Get Eden to fight the teacher, or wet himself trying. Get Eden sent to detention, ruin Eden's reputation, book a vacation to celebrate, I don't know.
With each word that left Calum's mouth, Strength's round little face twisted into an increasingly worried frown.
If that was your master plan, you failed, Four Eyes! You got me in hot water instead! Your stupid scheme was super convoluted. You think a big Dumbo like Eden could have survived those teeth long enough to get detention? Even if you wanted to terrify him, you didn't have to deadlock the door. I could have been killed!
The door? But that's never happened before. Our power doesn't work on inanimate objects.
I told you it was a terrible plan, Calum. You should have listened to me.
Calum frowned, clearing his throat.
I didn't mean for you to get involved, of course. But you were never in any real harm. I would have stepped in. You understand? Had your powers not kicked in. Everything was still within my calculations. And for your sake, we had to keep the monster contained. It would have been a disaster if the beast rampaged through the school. You might have been blamed for some kind of horrible witchcraft.
Because everybody thinks I'm a witch anyways. Wow, okay, Calum.
So, you were just looking out for me?
Exactly. You think I would have just abandoned you in your time of need?
Yes, I think you would.
Yes.
Of course not. I had to play my cards right for our sake. Which unfortunately involves subjecting you to close proximity with that orange-haired wretch. But he was almost in our grasp. Look how close we got.
Indeed, Imagine what the two of you could achieve together, fully powered up.
Yes, the heights we could reach, the punishment we could inflict.
What exactly is my power, though? Because all she did was wave the wand and bonk him on the head. There's something else that we have, but we don't know just yet.
Or we don't think about that. I'm a big fan of talking things out instead.
Your execution was patchy at best, but I can agree that it would have been pretty entertaining to see that guy suffer for once.
Yes, I knew you would understand. Only we can bring that candy gobbling fool to his knees.
So, what did Eden do to you?
What didn't that bully do? He got up to every bit of mischief in the book. I wouldn't be surprised if he'd commit arson on my house, if given the chance. I swear, it was that bad.
Yes! Yes! Finally! Someone who understood what she had been through.
Right? He's always getting up to something. It's so frustrating.
It's always like this. He starts the fight and then kicks you while you're down.
Tabbie nodded, eyes glistening with vindication.
Things are different now, though. Even a wounded dog will bite. And anyone who would kick a poor, innocent, bone-loving puppy should expect the gnawing of teeth. The teeth of vengeance.
Me and Strength are probably on the same page.
So what you're saying is, technically, we're not the ones in the wrong here. Eden is an annoying prick.
Oh!
So when I argued with Eden, it was probably his fault.
Huh?
Yes.
In that case, what I really need to do is to use my powers to purge evil.
Yes.
What?
Like you said, there's nothing more evil than tormenting an already tortured soul.
Tabbie grinned gleefully, coming to her conclusion.
So if Eden is evil, then I can blast him!
Yes!
No! Are you crazy, Tabbie? You're not gonna blast some random kid.
He's not just some random kid, Strength. He's my rival. He's demented and cruel.
I think you're taking that out of way out of context and proportion, Tabbie girl. I get it, but I think I don't think Eden's that bad. He's flirting with you.
That's
what I
look
think.
at him. Who knows what kind of fucked up and wicked plans are brewing under those cheap, box-dyed highlights.
Not her reading him.
He's asking for a blasting.
If you blast him, you'll go to magic jail.
Is there a magic
He's
jail?
asking for a highly legal and purely metaphorical blasting.
Well, as fun as it would be to vaporize every annoying person on Earth, there are other ways to get revenge on them.
Fun? Wait, revenge?
What's wrong with some healthy spite, Strength? You look like someone pissed in your cereal.
Tabbie, we can't be talking about the same stuff here. Vanquishing evil is cool, but you're getting it all wrong. Evil isn't just whatever you don't like.
Well, it seems you're being outvoted at the moment. None of us like it.
Besides, vengeance is the strongest emotion there is. Real strength happens when you want to move heaven and earth for a just cause, right?
And our cause is most certainly just.
An 8th grade boy.
An 8th grade boy!
The next day. It was a dark and stormy Tuesday. As thick clouds gathered overhead, the air inside Middling Middle School was charged with the fervent whispers of students spreading the latest news.
Did you hear?
That's what I heard too. All that effort.
Pumpkins are all ready to go in the multi-purpose room. Oh my
Oh, he
back.
has all these patches.
Today is Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
That's right! It's Tuesday, mascots! Today is the second day of Halloween Spirit Week, and you know what that means.
Is the voice actor of the PA guy and the sad PA guy the same? Oh, I didn't get a voice here. I'll do it then. It's time to judge your homeroom decorations!
Yes. The judges will be around soon. To check out all of your great work. So get those finishing touches in as soon as you can. Or don't.
Ha!
But don't worry if you don't win today. Tomorrow we'll be hosting more spooky activities for all mascots to enjoy. And now, sports.
Ugh.
The volleyball team! Yay, volleyball! Has an away game.
Oh, okay, that's why. Tabbie tuned out the rest of the announcement. Despite her bravado yesterday, she felt a sense of dread about entering her homeroom classroom. The gnawing ache in her gut at the thought of having to interact with her classmates wasn't anything new. But this was a weird feeling to be having in light of recent events.
I'm all powerful now. Why should I be afraid of what other people think?
Exactly. Strength popped out from inside Tabbie's hood, shaking his head vigorously.
No, you should be worried. That feeling, it's coming from a place of
Weakness.
I was going to say guilt.
Strength climbed gingerly onto Tabbie's shoulder.
Listen to me, Tabbie. It's not weak to feel bad because you messed something up. Even if it wasn't your fault, but you also shouldn't brush everything off like nothing happened. You did cause some damage, right?
Yes. Exactly.
What? You're agreeing with me? I mean, that's great.
Strength took a closer look at Tabbie's eerily calm expression and rubbed his hands together uneasily.
What exactly is it you're agreeing with? You said it wasn't my fault, and it wasn't. So I shouldn't feel bad.
That's all you got out of that, huh? I mean, I guess what you're saying isn't entirely wrong, but Tabs, maybe, just maybe, with great power...
Tabbie twirled one of her braids absent-mindedly around her finger.
With great power, I can finally even the odds.
Oh, she's ready.
All my life, I've been in the lowest part of the food chain. Easy prey. It's not nice to prey on the weak, is it, Strength?
No.
Tabbie nodded sagely.
Like Calum said, I have vengeance to execute, evil to purge. On behalf of us weak victims everywhere! So I'm not going to waste time thinking about anyone's feelings, just like they never thought about mine.
As Strength struggled to turn the moment into a learning opportunity, Tabbie strode into class, head held uncharacteristically high. I had to go back a little bit and read that word because it was a long word. Uncharacteristically high. She froze in the doorway, shocked by the interior of the classroom. It's still that way?
What?
Tabbie expected everyone to turn at her entrance and start whispering about her. Instead, her classmates barely registered her presence or her outburst. And more bizarrely, the distraction left in the wake of her unexpected battle yesterday.
It's all fixed?
Oh, they used it, I guess, for the decoration, maybe?
Fixed is a strong word.
The decorations had been painstakingly taped back together, some covered in a new layer of paint and glitter to hide the tears and cracks. A pile of broken tables and chairs were haphazardly set off to the side, and some students were sitting on the ground. Tabbie rounded on Strength, a commendable achievement considering the pixie had been clinging to her shoulder.
Did you do this?
Hey, don't look at me. I was in your backpack all night. Smelled like pencil shavings and old sandwiches. Don't know how I managed to rest in there.
If you didn't do it, then who?
Caleb? I don't know. A fellow classmate stared wide-eyed at Tabbie, who appeared to be raving at nothing.
Hi, Tabbie. Is everything okay?
Who fixed the... Everything is...
Oh, back to normal, right? Yeah, when we got here this morning, everything had been all patched up.
The other student gave Tabbie a careful look.
You know, at first we thought maybe you'd be the one to do it, but...
Oh, it was Eden. They gestured at a figure sitting in an odd face-down position. A dark mop of black and orange streaked hair sprawled across the desk.
He's been half asleep all morning, and then we were like, of course.
Of course it had been Eden.
Of course it had been Eden. Getting on their good side, making me seem like a bad guy.
Strength cautiously poked his head out from Tabbie's hood, making sure to steer clear from the view of other students.
Tabbie, hey, stay calm. I know what you're thinking.
Don't pop that candy yet.
Behind without warning to fix everything so they would think it was me, and then think I wasn't that nice.
Hey, Eden, you awake, bro? Class is about to start in a few minutes.
A few other students gently patted Eden on the back, and he sat up with a jolt, startling more than a few of them.
Oh, thanks. Hey, I heard you were the one who patched all of our decorations, Eden.
Eden gave the curious onlookers a sleepy, lopsided half smile, but didn't confirm their suspicions. He really didn't have to. His fingers were still slightly crusted in orange paint and a solid layer of glitter. Tabbie heard a gentle pounding in the distance, like a war drum coming from a long way. It took her a moment to realize it was the pounding of her own heart, slowly growing louder in her ears.
Yeah, thanks, Eden. You're our hero. Let me buy you a cookie at lunch. You've earned it.
Me too. Or like a soda or something. You work so hard.
Those cookies at lunch were good. I'm not gonna lie. When I was in school and those cookies that were wrapped in like the saran wrap and you had that sticker on the back, you just peel it up. They were good. They were good.
Nah, I'm all set on sweets.
He gave a good-natured pat to the jack-o'-lantern lunchbox sitting by his backpack.
Oh, right. Forgot candy is like your thing.
So cool that you don't have cavities. I wish I had your teeth.
Does he have a pixie? Eden flashed them an award-winning pearly smile. To Tabbie, it felt disingenuous at best, insidious at worst. Like he was mocking her with how well he got along with everyone else. The pounding shifted into a distant roar in her ears, almost drowning out the nervous muttering of her classmate.
Lucky he got to it, right? Otherwise, we'd have to scramble at the last minute. Or, I don't know, some people were gonna ask you if you weren't too busy to help out too.
I bet they were relieved I didn't do it.
Sorry, what was that?
Uh-oh.
No, Tabbie, come on. Nobody is saying that.
They don't have to say it. I know. Just leave me alone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they can't see him.
I bet they were relieved they wouldn't have to buy gross little Tabbie a cookie.
Tabbie, come on, girl. Breathe in, breathe out. The bell rang, signaling the start of class. Tabbie trudged dutifully to her spot at the back of the room, placing her backpack on one of the few undamaged desks.
Should have had Tabbie help, probably. I'm sure she wouldn't have minded. At least, I don't think she would have. I don't know anymore, honestly.
Eden laughed aloud, oblivious to Tabbie's darkening brow.
Tabs? Wait, no, you're right. Without Tabbie's help, nothing would have looked this horrifying. I bet she could have made it even worse.
That's a compliment, Tabbie, please. Please don't take that as not. Tabbie froze. Her hand reached for the wand stashed in her pocket.
No, Tabbie, bad! Maybe he didn't word it right, but he probably didn't mean it that way.
He didn't.
And if he did, well, forgiveness is commendable. It takes the most strength.
I feel like he is flirting with you, Tabbie.
Letting someone get away with lies is not being strong.
All right, settle down, class. Let's take roll real fast before the judges get here and I release you all into the cafeteria for the start of our special Halloween activities. I'm sure you're all just as excited as I am to leave this whole mess behind us and move on to the pumpkin carving contest. It's not like giving knives to children can make things any worse.
Hey, Mr. Teacher? I know you probably can't see too well with all those bandages, but Eden did us all a solid.
Not up to date with the youth slang, but I take it to mean that he did something possibly good? I hope?
Yeah, he fixed all the stuff that Tabbie broke. I mean, sorry, Tabbie. I know you said you didn't do it on purpose, but everything was still broken.
Okay, they don't know what actually happened. Tabbie raised her hand faster than she had ever done so before. She didn't even wait to be called on, speaking boldly out of turn.
Can I use the bathroom?
Is that Tabbie? I mean, yes, sure. Tabbie, right, let me just mark you down as present and...
Tabbie didn't wait for her teacher to continue peering at the rule sheet through his bandages before she left the room.
You're turning into a real delinquent, Tabbie.
I'm not the delinquent. Eden is. He's a bully and a manipulator. He has them all eating out of the palm of his hand still, like he's got candy for hands.
That is a horrific thing to imagine.
Well, imagine worse, because that's what Eden is.
You know, he's just an 8th grader, just like you.
Yes, exactly. Evil starts so young.
You're so right, yet so wrong.
Strength let out a wheezy sigh as Tabbie walked straight past the bathrooms.
Wait, aren't we going to the bathroom?
What, together?
I don't know.
From the other classrooms, students began trickling out of the doors, heading out in the chattering hordes towards the cafeteria.
I wasn't ever going to the bathroom. I was lying, obviously. I'm going to put Eden back in his place right now. He won't beat me at my own game.
What are you gonna do, buy all the cookies?
I don't think he's trying to beat you at anything.
Well, he can't. Eden doesn't have any powers. It was stupid of them to think he could ever fix anything. If they want a hero, I'll show them what a real hero looks like.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Don't look if you're so scared. Real strength is doing things other people are too afraid to do.
I have a really, really bad feeling about this.
Tabbie snuck into the multi-purpose room, eyes alighting on the dark oblong shapes scattered evenly across the unlit floor.
I'm going to guarantee us a victory. Then they'll see. They'll all see.
Tabbie, why are you picking up those pumpkins? Where are you taking them? This isn't our classroom. Tabbie, no!
Tabbie! Okay, so I'm going to end there because that was the end of Act 1. I am curious as to your thoughts. I enjoyed the story. Why is Tabbie doing that? I get it. She doesn't like Eden, but Caleb is really the bad guy. And is the teacher... So the teacher's not bad. They just manipulated the teacher into becoming this evil thing. So I think it's Caleb is our bad guy, not really the teacher. And the teacher doesn't really remember anything. It's a good game. I like it. It's a narrative game, but I love it because it has magical girl vibes in it. We have cute pixies that help us with our powers. But Tabbie girl, you need to chill. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not everybody's out to get you. They seem to like you, but I understand that she doesn't perceive it that way. But let me know your thoughts on this gameplay and if you liked it, if you enjoyed it, and if you're excited for Act 2. I will be doing Act 2 on our Magical Girl Week. I believe I said first week in April, but stay tuned to my posts on YouTube for my week at a glance kind of thing about what's coming up, and I'll announce when I do the Magical Girl Week. But we'll have Act 2 during that week as well. And let me know your thoughts on this gameplay. Let me know if you're going to Sailor Moon Live when they're here in North America. Let me know if you went before to Sailor Moon Live. This is my first time going, so I'm excited for it. And thank y'all for coming in. And as always, I hope you have a great day, a great night, wherever you're at today. And remember to stay kind to yourself as well as to others. Simply Rye.